I've got Terry's nails. I don't know if you can see. It's a sign of a liver problem, an adaptogen herb in it, and with low thyroid function I shouldn't have been on that, so I've really thrashed my body. I need to fix my liver.
How are you feeling?
And we've got the salt water, so this is a perfect combination. 28th of July 2024. Sleep is excellent, feeling energized, and I'm using it as a moisturizer on my face in the morning. What does copper do to help us to sleep? Description if you're short on time. For the 18th, 2024. The copper is huge. What a breakthrough. I know that copper is king. The adrenal fatigue is because we have low copper, because we need copper for the sodium, salt, retention. It's copper, adrenal insufficiency, adrenal fatigue. So copper is so important for us to heal when we go through things. Energy, and yeah, slept really well. I think I've just made a massive breakthrough. My energy, it's quite well established.
Hey guys, welcome back. I chose that cover. I thought those were really cool colours. I love blue. That is the key to healing. We have low copper. I'm just going to read this. Low copper equals low energy. Low copper equals fatigue. Low copper equals slow healing. Low copper equals decreased immunity. Low copper equals low antioxidants. Low copper equals mood disorders. So your neurotransmitters are not optimal working. Copper is a cofactor in the production of neurotransmitters. So brain fog, that kind of thing. Copper helps us process histamine. Low copper equals high histamine. So if you've got histamine issues, high histamine drives high estrogen. Estrogen dominance is the new epidemic, I believe.
Ceruloplasmin enables transfer of iron into and out of cells. And that is a copper dependent protein. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, check out my course. It's in the link below. It is free for those first 4 lessons about the geothermal water, and then the 5th lesson is all about the water that you will have free access to. Watch my iron video, a little bit more context as to why we might be losing sleep over a lack of iron. The other key, a high iron intake may block copper. Copper IUD, from my research and using Rick Fisher for the hair tissue mineral analysis testing, can cause copper toxicity. Or you can go and look at coppertoxicity.com. And what I do to support myself in this time so that I can have better sleep. Stress, we deplete magnesium. So to support my magnesium levels, I use the Ease product from Ian Clark Activation Products. 2 sprays on my legs 3 or 4 times a day. I can do up to 25 sprays a day, and he does his before bed to induce sleep. I find if I spread it out through the day, it just continues to help me with my energy levels. Trace Minerals, Ian Clark again, Activation Products. I have a 1 litre bottle here, and I just use, at the moment I'm using 2 drops. The Pure Ocean Minerals, which is magnesium, sodium, potassium and calcium according to the ingredients at the back. You can have up to half a teaspoon, but I don't go that far. Definitely feel more alert, more energy, more focus. I remember writing in that book, I've been able to finish this part because of the trace minerals. So that covers off the calcium, sodium, potassium, magnesium, which is key if you're going through any kind of stress, trauma, grief. You might have seen the ADHD video that I did with Liam Payne and how we can support ourselves going through grief or if we have ADHD. And I just wanted to elaborate a little bit more on how I support myself with minerals in a practical way so you can actually see it. The other things that I use are cell salts. So these are little granules. That one there is calcium phosphate, one of the 12 cell salts that the body needs. According to Dr. Thomas, when the body is burnt to ashes, there remains these 12 cell salts, tissue salts they're also called. NATMUR, which is a sodium, the sea, again seawater, it's the equivalent of the seawater, that balances the water within the body. So if we're dry skin but we've got hypersalivation, so we've got a lot of saliva, we've got an imbalance of water in the body. Sweating a lot, that could be another sodium deficiency as well. Especially the hot sweats in the night. I really found the cell salt really helped with that, just to get rid of that heat, because I think that the body is just trying to get rid of the excess water, and so it does that by sweating. So not medical advice at all. Link below as to where you can get the homeopathic form. It's not a prescription or anything like that, it's just where I locate and have been able to find them. We can buy them, but they do have lactose in them, and if you're lactose intolerant then it becomes difficult. So this is the most pure form that I found. Zinc. So zinc is really important for our hormones, regulating our hormones. Popcorn, that's how I support my zinc levels, it's in popcorn. If you have a supplement of zinc, it actually competes for copper, and we need our copper. That copper ion, which I've got videos on, for basically our oxygen, so that we can actually sleep, because the body is it has oxygenation to sleep. Again, another thing for sleep is we don't have enough oxygen coming through, so we have sleep apnea, so we wake up. Have a raw carrot with my meals if indigestion really helps. Undigestible form of fiber for the intestines, the gut, and it will get rid of that bacteria, that the endotoxins basically, that are really difficult to get rid of. Thanks to Mark Sloan, I discovered that people with autism, because our guts are so dysfunctional or not working, autism is one of the symptoms is that, and we really want zero endotoxins. Support my estrogen levels, I have a prune a day, and the prunes have boron in them. I say it's an essential trace mineral, found to be in the geothermal water as well. The other thing that I do like to do is have my oats. So the oats have some of the cell salts in them, the calcium phosphate for example, that's really good for digestion. Pork, but pork has 5 of the 12 cell salts. And ham hock broth with vegetables, that has been like the most healing food for me nutritiously when I've had temperatures, fevers, or I'm really low in energy. Gives me a boost of energy. Has all three potassium cell salts, and nat sulf and NATMUR, which are the other 2 cell salts I've just talked about today. Very important to know this information, and I hope to keep this really simple so that you can actually digest it and move forward in a way that is simple and easy, because I don't want to make life more stressful. So check out the video that I have posted before this one on how I support my estrogen levels if you want to learn more. The other thing I do is I have vitamin C, so that's really important for our ceruloplasmin. So to support the ceruloplasmin, vitamin C, retinol A, vitamin A, that is really important in supporting the body to move through this time, because when we start to have a decrease in our hormones, we rely on our adrenals a lot, and the adrenals need a lot of vitamin C, they need sodium and potassium, and obviously the ceruloplasmin is going to be the one that is there to make the iron, which, if you've watched my video on the importance of iron, bioavailable. And that's how important ceruloplasmin is, because without the iron we have a disconnect in all of the other cell salts. So the other way I support my nutrients for magnesium and potassium, calcium, is actually in the sweet potato, also known as kumara. So I have 3 pieces of kumara sliced like that with my lunch. I have also pumpkin. I've just got it all here on a chopping board because I was about to make my lunch, so I thought I'll come and bring it and show you. I have a lot of swede, and I have that spinach. 7 leaves of spinach a day is your vitamin K. It's got a lot of nutrients in there, including your iron. My maple syrup, and that is really good for the glycemic index. It doesn't spike your sugar, but it's got amazing properties in it, and it really helps with the liver. I can't tell you all of the amazing benefits that maple syrup has, but so with every meal that I have there's not much Himalayan salt in there, but 8 to 9 twists of that Himalayan salt, and then this is my just normal sea salt. I have 3 pinches, so 1, 2, 3 pinches of that onto each meal. Yeah, there you go, all about lessons. There you go, I just built it again. I try and get as much sunlight as possible. Blue light that we're receiving from the phones is actually a cause for obesity now. So these different rays of light that we get naturally are so important for the body and the way it functions. So when we expose the skin to sunlight, we are creating sulfates. So this, right now, I am creating sulfates. They're very important for the body. It's described in my book Abundant Healing, but this is just a little snapshot of how important the sunlight is. The body will actually try and get the sulfates from any other parts of the body for the vital organs if it's low. Okay. Don't wear slippers because my feet need to be grounded. I highly recommend this book, Facial Diagnosis of Cell Salt Deficiencies by David Card. So what do I eat in a day? So I have 4 eggs, 3 for breakfast. I poach them all at the same time, and I have the 4th one at lunchtime. On my eggs I have some spinach, just a few leaves lightly steamed. I have chicken at least once a day for lunch or dinner, if not twice a day. The other days I would have salmon, risotto salmon, vegetables, pumpkin and things like that, carrot, broccoli. Another meal is I'm just starting to have that lamb's fry again with vegetables. I have a lot, I don't have a lot, but I have couscous, and that's my wheat intake. So I don't eat bread. So lunch and dinner for me have quite a lot of swede. So I'll have 1 big swede a day, at least 1 of those a day. And I'll have the couscous, which is being cooked here, which you can probably see in the pot there. And then the vegetables with the chicken. Quite a lot of salt on each meal. For afternoon tea, I'll have 2 pieces of my chocolate bread with a banana from the local market, really nice bananas. And I'll have a little bag of popcorn. Some quick cook oats, I just soak them and then eat them if I'm still peckish after dinner. I have the roast chicken. Let's check the temperature. Roast potatoes for the children. I don't eat potatoes because of the starchiness, the nightshadiness of them. Pumpkin is amazing for energy, for blood sugar. A little bit of sweet potato instead of the potato. After my lunch, I'll have jazz apple, more than 1/4 cup of the Greek style yogurt with a good tablespoon of maple syrup. So yum. Beets, B vitamins, potassium as well. That bit, although I've never done that bit. If I ever feel nauseous in the night, I will have a bite of a raw carrot. If you've got indigestion troubles, bloating, whatever, these are amazing. Raw carrots, nausea will go, from my experience. I think that is it. Yes, I do like my risotto when I have my food out, because they make it with some lovely cheese, olive oil, butter, no, not butter, olive oil, garlic, sauce. How they make risotto is amazing. I can't do it myself. I can't replicate it because I'm not that good. And then they'll have spinach mixed in with mushrooms. Mushrooms are good for copper. I'm going to put the oil in the cake mix. That's how I make my bread.
Quick vlog.
A quick, my bread. So to help myself fall asleep at night, I release oxytocin, and I do that by rubbing my ankles for 2 minutes each side, and then You can also stimulate oxytocin by rubbing the ball, the arc of your foot I should say, against the top of the other foot, and then do it on the other side as well. And that induces beautiful deep sleep. Behind the scenes of the Healing with Water course every day with my feet in a bucket of water, how I felt more energized. The course explains why I felt more energy. It helps with sleep.